March 18th promises to be another dramatic day in Salem as secrets unravel, old wounds resurface, and unexpected encounters stir up emotions. Salem's residents are about to face life-changing decisions, and Days of Our Lives fans won't want to miss a single moment of the explosive action. The day begins at Brady's pub, where Roman Brady, Josh Taylor, finds himself deeply troubled. He has inadvertently spilled a long-buried secret to his grandson Johnny DiMera Carson Boatman, revealing the truth about what his father, E.J. DiMera Dan Feuerriegel, once did to Sammy Brady, Allison Sweeney. With this revelation out in the open, Roman turns to his trusted sister, Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, seeking guidance on how to handle the fallout. Can he find a way to contain the damage, or has he already set off a chain reaction that will expose old wounds? As Roman grapples with his mistake, he has an unexpected run-in with Philip Kyriakis, Jean-Paul Lavoisier. Given Philip's own complicated history, this encounter is bound to take a tense turn. Will their exchange lead to a deeper revelation, or is Philip about to drop a bombshell of his own? Stephanie's nightmare and Alex's unwavering support elsewhere in Salem. Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, wakes up in a cold sweat from a distressing nightmare. The details remain unclear, but the lingering fear on her face suggests that whatever haunted her sleep is tied to something or someone deeply significant. Thankfully, Alex Kyriakis, Robert Scott Wilson, is right by her side, offering reassurance and comfort. Despite the rocky history between them, Alex proves to be her rock in a moment of vulnerability. But as the day unfolds, their peaceful morning will be upended by unexpected twists. Alex soon heads to work, but before he can fully immerse himself in business, he crosses paths with Joy Wesley, Alex and Hopkins. His choice of words suggests he sees her as someone who narrowly avoided a baby bullet, completely oblivious to the reality of her situation. Meanwhile, Stephanie encounters Philip in Horton Town Square, and it's only a matter of time before his closely guarded secret comes to light. Joy's struggles and Philip's mysterious document. Joy Wesley is facing a dilemma of her own. She's been carrying a heavy secret, one she's desperate to keep under wraps. But when Philip offers her support, she finds herself at a crossroads. Does she continue to hide the truth, or is it time to come clean? Later in the day, Philip arrives at Titan Industries, catching Joy off guard with a document in his hand. The tension in the air is palpable. Could this be the pregnancy test results confirming her condition? If so, Philip might be the first to uncover the truth that she has been hiding from both Alex and Stephanie. How will he react? And more importantly, what will he do with this newfound knowledge? Joy's day takes another turn for the worse when she finds herself struggling with the weight of her deception. She may decide that keeping her secret isn't worth the stress and make a drastic decision to quit Titan and leave Salem entirely. Whether she heads back to New York or starts fresh somewhere else, one thing is clear: she doesn't want Alex or Stephanie to know the truth just yet. Teresa's disruptive phone call and Xander's explosive arrival. Meanwhile, Teresa Donovan, Emily O'Brien, is back in action, but her return to Salem is anything but peaceful. She's in the middle of an important phone call when she is unexpectedly interrupted by none other than Xander cook Paul Telfer. Their shared history is complicated, laced with betrayal, passion, and plenty of unfinished business. Xander is less than thrilled to see Teresa roaming free, and the tension between them quickly escalates. The two engage in a heated confrontation, their words laced with old resentments and lingering chemistry. Teresa, never one to back down, holds her ground, but Xander isn't about to let her off easily. As their argument intensifies, it's only a matter of time before the situation spirals out of control. Fireworks and fallout await Salem's residents. With so many secrets hanging in the balance, Salem is on the brink of chaos. Roman's slip of the tongue could reignite old feuds, Philip's knowledge could shift the dynamic between Joy, Alex, and Stephanie, and Teresa's return is already stirring up trouble. As the drama unfolds, one thing is for certain: Days of Our Lives fans are in for an unforgettable episode filled with revelations, heartache, and unexpected twists. Will Joy confess her pregnancy before it's too late? Can Roman contain the fallout of his mistake? And what does Xander truly want from Teresa? Stay tuned as Salem's most gripping stories continue to unfold. Monday, March 17, 2025, a day of high emotions and heartbreak in Salem. The episode opens with several storylines ready to unfold. In one corner of Salem, detective partners Jada and Rafe are determined to chase down a new lead on a case that has baffled them for weeks. In another, attorney Belle meets with her half-brother Brady to discuss her conflicted feelings about her personal life, revealing she might be at a crossroads. However, the central storyline that will shake the foundations of the DiMera family takes place at the grand, heavily furnished DiMera mansion where Johnny is about to confront his father, EJ, over a long-buried secret involving Johnny's mother, Sammy. The tension is palpable even before Johnny's arrival. From the moment EJ appears on screen, it's clear something is weighing heavily on his mind. Viewers who tuned in last Friday remember EJ's strained conversation with Chanel, apologizing for past transgressions and appearing remorseful, though Chanel seemed uncertain whether to trust him. EJ's genuine remorse might have carried more weight if Johnny had not stormed in at exactly the worst possible moment, fueled by anger and heartbreak over what he has learned about his own origin. EJ's shocking history comes to light. Johnny's entry is abrupt and full of fury. Without warning, he walks right up to EJ and lands a powerful punch to his father's jaw. The normally refined EJ stumbles back, clutching his face in disbelief. Chanel, caught in the middle, gasps in alarm while Johnny seethes in rage. To her shock, Johnny hurls accusations at EJ, declaring he knows the dark truth about what EJ did to Sammy so many years ago. In the past, the nature of Johnny's conception was considered a well-guarded secret. Over the years, only a handful of characters, Sammy, EJ, Kate, and a few other trusted DiMeras, have been privy to the most disturbing details. But on this day, the deception unravels as Johnny reveals that Kate recently told him the entire story, that EJ forced Sammy to sleep with him to save Lucas's life. EJ tries to interject, insisting in a calm but quivering voice that it happened long ago and that he and Sammy have moved past it. Johnny, still fuming, refuses to accept that explanation. He accuses EJ of using Sammy's vulnerability for his own gain, painting the image of a traumatized Sammy who had to do the unthinkable because she believed it was the only way to save Lucas. Meanwhile, EJ, who was once steeped in the manipulative ways of his father, Stefano, is left struggling to defend actions that are, in truth, indefensible. Chanel's shock and Johnny's devastation. From the sidelines, Chanel stands aghast. She overhears the deeply disturbing part of the story, that EJ essentially committed an act of sexual violence against Sammy, resulting in Sammy's pregnancy with Johnny. When Johnny uses the word rape, the entire room seems to fall into a heavy, trembling silence. For viewers who have watched EJ's evolution, his transformation from a cruel manipulator to a more refined, regretful businessman, this revelation is a stark reminder of his darkest deeds. Chanel's eyes fill with tears. As she places a hand on Johnny's chest, she can feel the tremors of his anger and heartbreak. At first, EJ tries to push the blame off onto Stefano's relentless pressure. He claims that he needed stem cells from his unborn child to help save Stefano when his health was failing. But Johnny refuses to let him dodge responsibility. EJ also tries to insist that somewhere, beneath all the ugliness, there was genuine passion between him and Sammy. The mere suggestion that Sammy was partially at fault for not admitting her feelings sets Johnny off again. Furious, Johnny shouts that EJ is making excuses for an act that can never be excused. Chanel is equally horrified to learn that many members of the DiMera family have known about this for years. She realizes that they have kept the secret hidden, forming a silent pact not to expose the vile truth. The layers of lies and secrecy make everything feel all the more insidious to Chanel, who believed she understood the DiMera family's complicated history. EJ's plea for forgiveness. EJ, his composure hanging by a thread, takes a deep breath and acknowledges that he blames no one but himself for the violence and manipulation that led to Johnny's conception. His shoulders slump and tears threaten to spill from his eyes. He begs Johnny to understand that he is not the same man he was back then. He wants his son to believe that he truly regrets his past actions, even if he cannot be sorry that Johnny was ultimately born. After all, he loves Johnny deeply. Johnny, his voice raw with anguish, lashes out, calling EJ a pervert and raging that he was never wanted for himself, only for his stem cells. He speaks of his desire to flee from Salem, from the DiMera name, and from everything that reminds him of what EJ did. However, as he points out, he can never truly escape who he is or how he came into the world. In a final, gut-wrenching blow, Johnny says that EJ will never have a place in Johnny's child's life if he and Chanel start a family. The DiMera legacy, once so prized, feels cursed now that Johnny knows the truth. Desperate and ashamed, EJ tries yet again to beg for forgiveness. But it's clear that his son has reached a breaking point. The old father-son bond has been severely damaged, if not destroyed altogether. When EJ tries to apologize, Johnny roars at him, "Get out of here. Go away." The echo of that command stings more sharply than any physical blow EJ has taken, and he quietly retreats, leaving the mansion's living room in utter shambles of heartbreak. Outside the DiMera mansion, the scene cuts to EJ trudging through the hallway. Viewers can see the tension in his every step, his shoulders sag under the weight of guilt and regret. As he reaches the sweeping DiMera staircase, EJ suddenly collapses, sobbing. It's a sight rarely seen, EJ DiMera, always so controlled and aristocratic, utterly undone by the consequences of his past. Back in the living room, Chanel tries to comfort Johnny, but he can't be consoled. Overcome by anger, he utters a chilling wish. "I hate him, Chanel. I swear to God, if I had a gun right now, I would kill him." It's a stark reminder that while EJ is mourning the loss of his son's love in the hallway, the depth of Johnny's rage could have potentially led to something far more tragic. The raw hurt and fury burning inside Johnny might not be extinguished anytime soon. Jada and Rafe's pursuit of a lead. Meanwhile, as the DiMera family drama unfolds, Jada and Rafe continue their investigation into a peculiar case that has haunted Salem in recent weeks. Although the show provides only a brief glimpse into their progress, we see Jada carefully examining a crucial document while Rafe paces impatiently. There's a tip on a suspect lurking in Salem, and both detectives are determined to locate this individual before another crime can be committed. The short scene serves as a calm backdrop, contrasting the explosive conflict in the DiMera mansion, but we can sense that Jada and Rafe's storyline will pick up speed soon. Belle opens up to Brady in another part of town. The ever-conflicted Belle sits across from her half-brother Brady in a dimly lit booth at the Brady pub. She nervously runs her hand over the rim of her coffee mug, struggling to find the right words. Eventually, Belle confides in Brady about the complicated feelings she's been wrestling with. Feelings about her life, her romantic entanglements, and certain choices that could lead her down an unexpected path. Belle has always tried to separate her personal desires from her professional obligations, but she admits she might be failing. Brady, ever the concerned brother, listens intently, offering his usual brand of quiet, caring support. He gently reminds Belle of her own strength, pointing out that their family has weathered countless scandals, heartbreaks, and betrayals over the years. Belle, grateful for his reassurance, hints that she may soon need to make a major life decision. This scene foreshadows drama to come, especially given Belle's ties to various prominent families in Salem. Final thoughts: today's episode of Days of Our Lives felt like a pivotal turning point. The heartbreak at the DiMera mansion overshadowed everything else, but threads of intrigue wove through each storyline. Jada and Rafe's case, though only briefly highlighted, hints at a suspenseful track for upcoming episodes. Belle's conversation with Brady suggests emotional dilemmas that will play out in due course. Most importantly, the confrontation between Johnny and EJ raises critical questions. Is there any possibility of redemption for EJ after such a disturbing truth has been laid bare? Can father and son ever reconcile after Johnny's traumatic discovery of his own origin? Will Johnny's rage push him to make an irreversible choice? And how will the rest of Salem respond once this long-held secret inevitably spreads? For fans, especially those who have followed Days of Our Lives for decades, the story arcs typically revolve around love, betrayal, hidden paternity, and acts of desperation. Yet, even in a world as dramatic as Salem's, today's revelation felt especially raw, tackling the darkest part of EJ's history with Sammy. It's a reminder that Days does not shy away from confronting the complications of its characters' pasts, no matter how unsettling they may be. As viewers tune in tomorrow and the rest of this week, they'll likely see the ripple effects of Johnny's fury. Will Chanel's support anchor him, or will he push her away in his grief and anger? Will EJ sink back into guilt and self-loathing, or will he fight for a chance to prove he has truly changed?